In our latest 3 News investigation, we introduced you to the families behind a self-reported cancer map that shows more than 200 cases in a small area of Medina County. That map led them to a volatile piece of their community's past, but might have created more questions than answers. In part 2 of his series, Peter Fleischer examines the potential threat that sits beneath the surface and explores the fear that families say has not been properly addressed.
She was our little Christmas baby, so she was our Christmas card.
Brian and Kelly Cerio miss their daughter Lexi, but the way she lived sticks with them.
She was just so happy all the time. She was very passionate about whatever she did. Everything she did wholeheartedly.
Lexi was just 6 when her family was pulled into a fight they didn't ask for. A rare cancer, surgeries, and cross-country trips to treatment over the course of several years. And while cancer took Lexi's life at 11 last year, it never took her spirit.
She just endured everything, and she would look at you and say, I don't want to do this, or this hurts, or I don't feel good, but she'd power through.
It wasn't until after the Cerios moved away from their old Medina County home and lost Lexi that they connected with other families and realized many others had endured a similar pain.
The maps, I felt like, were the most shocking to me. You can see a line, like on our old street. That's so scary.
Losing a child makes a family ask why. The Cerios keep hearing a theory many community members circle back to.
Part of me is like, in hindsight, like, nope, not a surprise now, because I kind of heard enough whispers that it's like, that makes sense.
One EPA official said this is the worst case of stream pollution he's ever seen.
More importantly, they say he allows potentially dangerous runoff to enter groundwater and area streams.
The Montville landfill opened in 1958, before modern environmental oversight and even the EPA itself existed.
Historic landfills were just dumped waste without taking precaution of what lies in the subsurface. So no liners were put. And that creates a major concern.
By 1983, the Ohio EPA sued the landfill's ownership over hazardous waste runoffs, specifically landfill leachate that was being released into the local ecosystem on a daily basis. Leachate is the liquid that forms when water runs through buried waste. It can pick up contaminants and carry carcinogens into soil or water if it's not controlled. Dr. Kuldeep Singh, a hydrologist at Kent State, says leachate can be dangerous if it gets into groundwater.
The amount of contaminant that are stored or the waste that are stored are highly carcinogen or highly toxic and hazardous. If they get to spill out, of course, this would create a big issues.
EPA records show at one point, the landfill was leaking up to 18,000 gallons of leachate into the Medina area every day, especially into the West Branch Rocky River, a 36-mile stream that starts in Montville.
Does that look like pollution to you?
Yes, it is.
By the 90s, the landfill was buried, finally capped in 1995. Wells were installed to monitor groundwater, and a leachate collection system was created. The hazardous chemicals are supposed to be contained, but they're still there.
One thing is beyond the doubt that leachate is being created despite closing and shutting down.
The most dangerous organic contaminants have not shown up in recent groundwater monitoring.
Good news that none of the organic contaminants appear to have migrated out of control into the environment.
But contained does not mean the danger is gone. Several times over the years, and as recently as May 2026, the EPA has flagged elevated chloride in some monitoring wells, a possible indicator of leachate. Dr. Singh says that's exactly why the testing needs to be sharper.
There is downstream river flowing a network that we could test for, which are easily tractable, at least in the shallow systems. Should be done, but there has been, as I said, blind spots on our data.
And there are other dangers to be aware of. In 2022, the landfill's own explosive gas monitoring system hit more than 40% sustained in 3 different months. That's 8 times Ohio's allowed limit. As a result, the Medina Fire Department installed safety monitors inside 7 homes built closest to where the covered landfill sits.
It is my personal concern now, as the neighborhood's being developed close by, if the concentration reaches flammable, explosive, it might catch fire. It might catch fire in landfill.
No reason to sound an alarm yet, but every reason to pursue more answers.
Again, that was Peter Fleischer reporting. In tomorrow's conclusion of our 3-part series, we'll reveal how local public health agencies reacted to these cancer concerns and explain why their responses to our reporting left many questions still unanswered.